Am I the a-hole for refusing to change my baby's name after I named her after my dad's affair partner? I 26F just gave birth to my daughter Annabelle. I didn't announce it beforehand because in the past one of my family members stole a baby name and it created a lot of drama. My mom wanted to know but I was adamant on keeping it a secret. My mom and dad was in the room when I gave birth and when it was time for me to sign the birth certificate my mom asked for the name and I told her Annabelle. Her face went pale and my dad didn't look too happy but he said he loved the name. My mom left a few minutes later claiming she didn't feel well. She said she'll come over in a few days to help with the baby. Now I'm at home with the baby and my mom hasn't talked to me that much. We used to talk every day so I was confused by this sudden behavior. My sister Emily lives with mom still so I called her over to talk. When she got to my house she explained how she overheard dad and mom arguing because about 10 years ago dad had an affair with a co-worker named Annabelle. Mom hasn't been talking to him and he's been trying to get her to talk. I guess dad realizing that Emily had come over decided to come over himself. He asked if there is any way that I can change Annabelle's name. I asked him why to see if he'll tell me the truth. And he did. He admitted to the affair. He begged mom not to leave him and she stayed. But just hearing that name had always put her in a bad headspace. I told him I can't, and that Annabelle was the name of my husband's grandmother who helped raise him. My dad begged and pleaded for me to change it, saying mom was in the middle of packing her bags and heading to her sister's house. I told him I won't change her name and that it means so much to me and my husband. He began to raise his voice and immediately my sister yelled back and told him to get the hell out. She told him not to stress me out about a mess he created. He left immediately. I'm not changing my baby's name, but I feel like this is tearing the family apart. What should I do? Small edit. Annabelle isn't her real name. Her real name only has 3 letters, so a nickname based off her name wouldn't be possible. And a lot of you suggested to change her first name to her middle name, but her middle name is my mom's name, and I don't want to change that. Comments. Commenter 1. Info. Have you reached out or spoken to your mom yet about this? Commenter 2. Nah, it's better to ask Reddit strangers. Commenter 3. Not the a-hole. But your daughter is going to deal with most of this backlash, so brace yourselves for it. Commenter 4. But your daughter is going to deal with most of this backlash. Underrated comment. Unless Op's mom truly gets over this, she will put a lot of hate into OP's daughter. Commenter 5. I think it's a lot more likely she just won't be involved very much with Op or her daughter. At least not like she would have been had the name been something else. She's already pulling away and obviously doesn't want to hurt her daughter as she's not directing any anger or animosity at her. She's just withdrawn herself to try and process something she never thought she would have to. Commenter 6. I don't know if it was me, and I couldn't get over it. Then bye-bye husband, hello grandchild. Update. So my sister went over to my aunt's house to talk to my mom about what happened. My mom then came to my house to talk. She broke down saying how sorry she is for being distant and that it was wrong not to communicate with us about what was happening. She said while the name did shock her at first, she knew how much Annabelle meant to my husband and that she'll never do anything to discredit the work she put into raising him. I asked why she didn't tell us about the affair. She said because she knew that she was mentally too weak to leave and the last thing she wanted was to show us it's okay to stay with a man who cheated on you. I asked if she planned on leaving dad, and she said she doesn't know. She admitted that she never got over the affair and is mad at herself for ruining the moment her granddaughter was born. I told her is there a nickname that she wants to call Hey by and she said no and that she wants to honor the memory of Annabelle's great-grandmother. We hugged it out and talked. So I think everything is okay. Comments. Commenter 1. I think your mom was hurt by your dad and it's just a reminder. But your mom totally is awesome to acknowledge that she handled the name reveal poorly and how important your husband's grandmother was. Your mom just sounds super sweet so I hope you guys are good now. I'd hate for this affair to hurt her relationship with you or your daughter. Commenter 2. Right? I really want to give Op's mom a hug. Commenter 3. So much. How hard this must be for her and she is being super considerate and it must be so hard to have kept this for 10 years. She needs a big hug. Update. So I'm actually going to separate myself from my mom and my dad. My mom said she was going to get couples counseling, as well as therapy for herself. I thought that was good. I guess my dad read somewhere that it's best to completely be honest about the situation if he wants to move on. My dad is a science teacher at a high school, so Annabelle wasn't actually a co-worker but a student. He taught her as a freshman and had her in his AP class as a senior. She graduated at 17 and they added each other on Facebook and things went from there I guess. I asked my mom if she knew Annabelle was a student and not a co-worker. She broke down and admitted that she did. I asked her how can she be with someone like that. She didn't answer me. My sister was disgusted by him and cursed him out, calling him a child lover. She said she would never talk to him again. I agreed with her and told my mom that I can't allow my kids around her if she thought that my dad's behavior was okay. My dad said that Annabelle was an adult and that it was a mistake what happened between them. He then said it was a mistake to be open about the situation if it was only going to make things worse. My sister moved in with me, which I don't mind because the house has plenty of room. My dad and mom have been blowing up our phones, but I can't talk to either of them right now.
Comments.
Commenter 1. Are you still naming your baby Annabelle though? Commenter 2. I wanted to call my daughter Annabelle after a song I liked, but everybody mentioned the horror movie, so I went with something else, lol.